Hey everybody, welcome to Build with Maya. This is my very first video and I'm really excited to create a demo of how to connect ChatGPT with your no-code Bubble app. Just wanted to do a really quick example of a recommendation of cities you should go to based on a continent, just for the sake of this example of connecting. So I'm going to really quickly just drag on a text, and of course, I'm not really worried about formatting at the moment. I'm gonna have a button as well and say, actually, you know what, forget it. I'm just gonna make sure the formatting is correct. So I want to make a group, not a repeating group. Awesome. And then you want it to be column. And here you can have a multi-line input or just a regular input and call it region. Awesome. Did I spell that right? I don't know. I think I did. And then you want to have a button. Awesome. And then you want to have text. And let's apply some spacing. It's like 30. Okay, awesome. And I want to make this full width. And I want min height to be 0. Awesome. So now that we have this, we want to go to this plugin section. Let's see. And you can see here I've created this API already, but if you don't have that, you can just go to add plugins, API connector, click done, and this would show up, and then you have this API, and you can just click, okay, add another API. So what I would do here is I would go put a name for this API, kind of like filling out this, and then you want to have these two keys. You can do that by saying add shared header, and the first header you would need is content type, and you would want to fill this out with application/JSON. Then the second one is the authorization, and this is where you have to add your OpenAI API key. And you want to add the word bearer before it, but if you don't know how to get an API key, you can just go to OpenAI/product, create an account, log in, and if I go to this API keys, I would just add a key and copy that onto this place. Great. So now I want to do a call. So here you need to do, for example, I want to have city recommendation. And you want to make it an action because we want to set a state of an element so that it shows up. And we want to have it as a post request. So what you need to do is copy this link over to this. So now we have this set up. Now it's time to actually create the call that you're going to make to the API. And in this case, you can go to this OpenAI blog and read a little bit about this Whisper and ChatGPT. But essentially what you want to do is, it's really easy. You just want to copy this over without the parentheses. I mean, not quotations. So copy that over. And now you have basically the base of what you want to do. So you can say you give me some cities I can travel to in region. And whenever you want to have a user input, you need to have it in this kind of format where it has like the two, those things. So also provide some cool places to visit in each of those cities. Awesome. So now you have that, and we want to make the user be able to add that value, so you want to make this not private. And allow blank, in this case we don't want to allow blank because we need an input, but in the case of you don't need the user to have an input, you can just make it allow blank. Now we need to initialize this call, and you know it's working if it takes a little bit of time, and if it shows this page, then you know it's worked. It has worked. So if you click show raw data, sorry, but I cannot suggest without knowing your preference. So the mistake I made here is I didn't add a value here, but you will have a value when it's time to do that. So now you can go back to the design, and here's the region tab, and input region is what it's called. So we want to make it so that the button is clicked and the text will be filled with the recommendation. So we want to do OpenAI, or not OpenAI, this plugins, and we want to go to this city recs. The region is insert dynamic data because we want whatever value is in that multi-line input. So input city, region, sorry, value. So now we have that set up, and we want to set the state of this text to a new state and say recs. And we want it to be a text. So create that. And this is where the interesting part is. So we want to make it result of step 1, and you want to make it choices. First item, message content. And if you go back to the place where we initialize the call, it will basically tell you the path as well, because you just follow the example and it'll show you where it is. So you want to actually make this dynamic as well, and you want it to be text A's recs. And you want to make this give me recs. Let's try again. Northeast America. There you go.